The year is 1982. Lebanon, a country already familiar with conflict, finds itself at the heart of another storm. The nation, already scarred by years of civil war, now faces a new and formidable adversary. Israel, seeking to crush Palestinian militants, launches a full-scale invasion. Israeli forces push deep into Lebanese territory, aiming to dismantle the Palestinian Liberation Organization's stronghold. The invasion brings widespread devastation and suffering to the Lebanese people. The world watches in shock and horror as the conflict escalates, with international news outlets broadcasting the grim reality of war. From the chaos and destruction, a new force emerges: Hezbollah. Born out of the resistance to Israeli occupation, Hezbollah, meaning Party of God in Arabic, quickly gained a reputation for its fierce determination. This group, initially a small militia, was composed of deeply devout Shia Muslims. They were fueled by a potent mix of religious conviction and a burning desire to liberate their land from foreign occupation. These were not your average fighters. They were highly motivated, well-trained, and willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for their cause. Their religious devotion played a crucial role in their resilience and determination. They saw their struggle as not just a political or military one, but a spiritual duty. Their initial goal was simple: drive Israel out of Lebanon. But their vision extended beyond just military objectives. They aimed to establish a society based on their religious and political ideals. Hezbollah's early years were marked by guerrilla warfare. They employed hit-and-run tactics, ambushes, and bombings to target Israeli troops and their allies. These tactics, often described as unconventional and audacious, proved surprisingly effective against a much larger and better-equipped enemy. Their ability to adapt and innovate on the battlefield earned them a formidable reputation. With each successful operation, Hezbollah's popularity among Lebanese Shia Muslims soared. They were seen as the defenders of the oppressed, the champions of the resistance. Their influence grew not just through military success, but also through social and political means. They established schools, hospitals, and social services, further endearing them to the local population. Hezbollah's rise was not just a story of military prowess, but also of winning hearts and minds. They became a symbol of resistance and resilience, forever changing the landscape of Lebanese politics and society. From the outset, Hezbollah's stance on Israel has been crystal clear. They see it as an illegitimate state occupying Muslim land. This perspective is deeply rooted in their foundational principles and has been a driving force behind their actions and rhetoric since their inception in the early 1980s. While their initial focus was on expelling Israeli forces from Lebanon, their ambitions extend far beyond their borders. Hezbollah envisions a broader regional influence, positioning themselves as defenders of the Muslim world against what they perceive as Zionist aggression. They openly call for the elimination of Israel and the liberation of Jerusalem, a city revered by Muslims worldwide. This call resonates with many in the Arab and Muslim world, who see Jerusalem as a symbol of their cultural and religious heritage. Hezbollah's animosity towards Israel stems from a complex web of historical grievances, religious convictions, and political ideologies. Their narrative is intertwined with the broader Arab-Israeli conflict, which has seen numerous wars, uprisings, and peace efforts over the decades. They view Israel's creation in 1948 as a catastrophic injustice, displacing hundreds of thousands of Palestinians and igniting decades of conflict. This event, known as the Nakba, or catastrophe, is a central element in Hezbollah's narrative and fuels their ongoing resistance. Their religious beliefs further solidify their stance, with some interpretations of Islamic scripture viewing the fight against Israel as a sacred duty. This religious dimension adds a layer of fervor to their political and military activities, making compromise difficult. The disputed border areas between Lebanon and Israel, particularly the Shabaa Farms and the Golan Heights, remain major flashpoints. These territories are not just strategic military locations, but also hold symbolic significance for both sides. Hezbollah argues that these territories rightfully belong to Lebanon and vows to liberate them. This claim is part of their broader strategy to assert Lebanese sovereignty and challenge Israeli presence in the region. Their frequent patrols and military exercises near the border serve as a constant reminder of the volatile situation, always threatening to erupt into open conflict. These activities are not just for show, they are a demonstration of Hezbollah's readiness to engage in warfare if necessary, keeping the region on edge. Hezbollah is not just a militant group, it's a powerful political force in Lebanon. Over the years they have transitioned from being solely a military organization to becoming a significant player in the political landscape of the country. They've traded their combat boots for suits, participating in elections and holding seats in the Lebanese parliament. This shift has allowed them to influence legislation and policy-making directly. Imagine that the guys who were once launching rockets are now debating laws and policies. This transformation is not just symbolic, it represents a strategic move to gain legitimacy and power within the Lebanese state. It's a testament to their evolution and influence. Their leader, Hassan Nasrallah, has been pivotal in this transition, often addressing both political and military issues in his speeches. Their political wing is surprisingly sophisticated. They have well-organized campaign strategies, and their members are actively involved in various governmental committees and ministries. They run candidates in elections, participate in parliamentary debates, and even hold ministerial positions in the Lebanese government. This involvement gives them a significant say in the country's governance and policy direction. This dual role, as both a political party and a militant group, has been a source of much debate and controversy, both domestically and internationally. Critics argue that their military activities undermine their political legitimacy. Their political platform centers around social justice, resistance against Israel, and protecting Lebanon's sovereignty. They position themselves as defenders of the Lebanese people against external threats. They've gained considerable support from the Shia community, who view them as their protectors and advocates. This support base is crucial for their sustained influence and power. Hezbollah's ability to operate effectively in both the political arena and on the battlefield makes them a formidable force in Lebanese politics. Their dual identity allows them to navigate complex political landscapes while maintaining their military capabilities. Hezbollah isn't fighting its battles alone. They have powerful friends in high places, namely Iran and Syria. Think of it as a complicated family tree of alliances, with shared enemies and a history of mutual support. This axis of resistance, as it's sometimes called, has been a thorn in the side of the West for decades. Iran, a Shia Islamic republic, has been a staunch supporter of Hezbollah since its inception. They provide Hezbollah with financial aid, military training, and a steady supply of weapons. Syria, under the Assad regime, has also been a crucial ally, providing Hezbollah with logistical support and safe havens. Hezbollah's loyalty to its allies runs deep. They've stood by Syria throughout its brutal civil war, sending fighters to bolster the Assad regime. Their involvement in the Syrian conflict demonstrates their willingness to project power beyond Lebanon's borders and intervene in regional conflicts.